That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
You people are so petty and tiny.
Superheroes in New York? Give me a break.
Ooh. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Franchise Deep Dive with Jake and Josh, the podcast where we dive deep into all of your favorite and least favorite movie franchises. I'm Jake.
And I'm Josh.
And I'm Cade.
Yeah. People thought the Avengers was the most hype team up of all time, but actually, it's the Cinemadopes meets Franchise Deep Dive guys. That's the real team up.
That's the real crossover right there.
Film bros assemble. Yes, guys, we thought that it would be a lot of fun to bring on Cade from Cinemadopes. Hopefully, we're going to be able to get him on for all of our Avengers episodes. So hopefully you can join us again for Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and Endgame. That'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, so I mean, I know that you guys on Cinemadopes like to do this with your movies, and we like to do it here, but we like to sort of bring up our history and relationship with this or whatever movie that we're talking about. So, Cade, if you want to start off, like, what's your history relationship with the Avengers?
It was very minimal at first because, like, back then I mainly just watched like the Raimi Spider-Man movies and like more like DC stuff. But like I didn't really like watch any of the Phase 1 like movies until after I saw Avengers, and even then I didn't see Avengers in the theaters. I got it on DVD, watched it on my TV, and was like, man, this movie's really good. And then after that, I first MCU movie I saw in theaters was Iron Man 3.
Nice.
And yeah, the rest is history. Since then I like watched all Phase 1 movies. Since then, Iron Man's still great. Incredible Hulk, not so much. And like Cap and Thor and Iron Man 2 are okay. They're fine. Yeah. But then like rewatching this, I was like, okay, this is where like the MCU really like picked up. Like this is where it blew up and like started to like go full on mainstream and actually like build on more and more of itself.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up your thoughts on the other sort of Phase 1 movies, because that was actually going to be one of my questions. Obviously, this is a part of our giant MCU binge. We're talking about every MCU movie from Iron Man all the way to Avengers Doomsday. And so we obviously just got done watching all of the other Phase 1 movies leading up to this first Avengers movie. So that's sort of, I feel like, where me and Josh were on a lot of them. I don't think outside of the first Iron Man, I don't think either of us gave any of the other Phase 1 movies anything higher than like a 6.5 out of 10. I think that was like the highest we went.
I might have given Cap like a 6.7, but I really enjoy it. Like I was kind of factoring in enjoyment too. I don't know. I like Chris Evans a lot, but everything else was kind of on par with each other in that average to maybe slightly above average for us both, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was cool because I think it was cool to see, like, I think a little bit higher on the Incredible Hulk than you were, and you were a little bit higher on Thor than I was. So yeah, a little bit of discourse there. But all right, cool. Josh, what is your history with the Avengers?
Very, very similar to Cade's. I'm really upset I never got to see any of Phase 1 in theaters. I don't know why. I guess I just wasn't interested in superhero movies like that at the time. So I'm like kicking myself for not being able to experience at least Avengers in the theaters. But so I got it, I think, on DVD and watched it. Well, I mean, that came out when I was a senior, so I didn't see it until like probably freshman year of college. So
oh wow.
I remember liking it. I remember when I watched it, I mean, at that time, I think everyone was given this like, I mean, it was like, this was like a 5-star movie for a lot of people, I think. It just because like how big and like revolutionary it was. So I remember being a little disappointed. I wasn't on the hype train with it, but I still really liked it. There were some things that bothered me. So not too much after that though. Like that's kind of I have a very light history with the first Avengers, sadly.
Yeah. I guess we're all sort of in in the same boat because I also didn't see this movie in theaters. That I would have been. I was in 8th grade when this movie came out because it came out in, I believe, April of 2012. So I was still wrapping up 8th grade, and I remember everybody was, like you said, everybody was really hyping this movie up. Like, I distinctly remember being in 8th grade, like, English class, and not only were all the students talking about it, but my teacher was talking about it, and so all over the school, everybody that I knew was hyping up the Avengers. And kind of like you, Cade, I was very much in the boat of, I really liked the Raimi Spider-Man movies. I had, like, a soft spot for the Fantastic Four movies. Shout out, guys. Check out our Fantastic Four episodes. Those are a blast. But, I really liked the early X-Men movies. But, yeah, the Avengers stuff just didn't click with me. And I've highlighted in recent episodes that it was when the Avengers was coming out that I started to get into all of the other ones. So, like, watching them all, renting them from the local video rental store just to catch up and watch all of them before I could watch the Avengers. And then similar with you, Josh, I didn't get the hype. Like, I don't know. It just, everyone was talking this movie up. Like you said, a lot of like, hey, this is a 5-star, 10 out of 10 movie. This is the greatest thing to happen to cinema ever. Yeah. And I didn't get it. Like, I thought, yeah, like it's cool. Like, I like seeing all these heroes together. It hasn't really been done in a film before, so that was cool. But I don't know, it just didn't click with me in the same way like those Raimi Spider-Man movies did, or like a movie like The Dark Knight or X2, X-Men United. It didn't click with me in the same way all of those did. And not to spoil my opinion too much, but it still doesn't click with me that much. But all right, that gets our sort of history out of the way with this movie. Let me just sort of set the background for this movie, and then we can just get into the discussion. Obviously, again, The Avengers came out in 2012, directed by Joss Whedon, who was very famous for Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the TV series that only lasted one season, Firefly. Had a budget of $220 million to $225 million, so there's that. And box office, $1.520 billion in 2012, which is absurd. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Why?
A lot of dollar bills.
Why do you
Rotten
think
Tomatoes.
that... Oh, yeah. Sorry, Jake. Go ahead.
Oh, the last thing was just Rotten Tomato score of 91%, and I think it has a Metacritic score of 69 out of 100. So, yep, that's all the setting the stage. So what were you going to say, Josh?
Why do we think Joss Whedon was chosen, and then why... I was always wondering why everyone thought he was so like perfect for this, because the resume just never added up to me. I mean, I didn't watch Buffy. I think that it might be his most notable thing, and I mean, I know people like it, but I don't think it's like, I don't know. I'm wondering why he was chosen and why people were like so on board with him being the guy, especially when he just came from like a TV only background.
TV background. Well, I was watching a behind the scenes featurette, which was not as cool as some of the other ones. Like, hearing the production and costume designers of Thor talk about that movie was really, really cool. And even like the Captain America 1, the first Avenger stuff was really cool, and talking about how they put the costume together and all the time period accurate settings and clothing and all that. That was really cool. This one was more just like a, hey, how did this come together? How do we put all of these heroes in the same movie? But I think it was Kevin Feige who was talking about it, and I really think it was, yes, he came from a TV background, but all of those TV shows are very much ensemble castings. So Buffy is a lot of characters intermingling and, progressing throughout the story. Same with a show like Firefly. It's like a team of people on a spaceship. So I think that was like the foundation of picking Joss Whedon, was he had a lot of background with ensembles. I
kind of forget that he wrote Toy Story also, or he was on the writing team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess I didn't know Joss Whedon that well. So, like, it meant nothing to me. But I guess because he's also, like, a super fan, like, of Marvel. So maybe that's why people liked him on board with it. But
yeah, he also has a background of writing comic books. Throwing this out there, Joss Whedon is kind of a piece of shit. But that aside, he he does have one of the best comic book runs of X-Men. He has a really good run of the X-Men in the comics that's like very well written. I hate to admit it, but I got to give credit where credit is due. And so he does have like, I guess like maybe not from like a film standpoint, like the most storied background, but he has a lot of work in the comic book world along with that TV stuff. And again, not lending my hand too much, but you can definitely tell in the look of this movie that he comes from a TV background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Which Jake cannot wait to talk about.
Uh,
Very excited.
hey. But, okay, so I want to, I guess, because this is, you know, normally just me and Josh going back and forth. So we obviously have a guest on this podcast, and I want to give him a chance to talk about this movie. And I want to say, like, starting this conversation, I think a good foundation to start this discussion is, I think going into this, I am the lowest out of the three of us on this movie. I think you two, I don't know if you two like this movie significantly more than I do, but you at least like it a good amount more than I do. So Cade, what is it about like the Avengers that really clicks with you at this point? Because you put it top 10 in your MCU movies, right?
Currently, it's top 10 MCU movies. We'll see, like, when things shake out, like, with, like, Doomsday and all that. We'll see if that breaks it. I doubt, or Brand New Day, but I doubt it. Because with Avengers is, like, y'all were saying, like, it's never really been done before, effectively, at least, of, like, all these different heroes like meeting together on the big screen. Like we've seen it like in TV shows and all the time, and we see like X-Men, they have an ensemble cast and all that. But with this, there's just something that flows really well in the first act in Avengers. That's like, it sets up the danger with Loki and like all that, and then it sets up every single hero in their own way, except Thor. Thor shows up way later, but like he had his own movie, and it was like one of the more recent movies that came out, so you don't really need to like set up a lot of it. You just need to know like he's around, and he's Loki's like brother, and like is responsible of Loki's actions here because he's the defender of Earth and all that. So setting up more of like the human characters and like their interactions with one another is far more interesting, especially with the heavy lifting that is Mark Ruffalo, and the fact that they had to explain for a third time why this Hulk looks different and why this Hulk is a bit different than before. And and it's just like, and it also gives more character development of Black Widow. It introduces Hawkeye, a little bit more, brings more character to Nick Fury, and like basically those like more background characters of like Iron Man 2 and stuff like that needed that limelight for this movie to like actually like kind of get behind the big team moment that we're gonna get in the third act. And it's just, that works for me. It just does.
Yeah, I will say in tandem with that, I may have my issues with this movie, and I guess more so in the filmmaking. I do think the pacing is very good, and I think because it's not a movie like Infinity War, which is juggling 20 plus characters, I do think that they do a very good job of balancing out all of the main characters in this movie. Like, I feel each character sort of gets their moment to shine, and no character feels sort of sidelined. Like, that's one of my kind of issues with Infinity War. Even though I really do love Infinity War, it's very obvious which characters are the focal point of that story, and a character like Captain America is very much sidelined. Like, he's really not given much to do in that story, whereas here it feels like Cap, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, even Black Widow, Hawkeye, they all get their story beats that work for them. And they juggle it really well, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm with both of you. I was going to say I was with Cade on just like the character dynamic. I think everyone is playing off of each other very well. I don't know, Jake kind of like hinted a little bit, so I don't know how he feels overall about that dynamic between Cap and Iron Man, but I do like seeing the conflict between those two leaders start to like blossom. And I like that. I guess going back to this movie, it's fun to see how thing, like you get these little tidbits of things that are gonna that are getting foreshadowed with conflict within the team, and I really love that they're so dysfunctional. Like I like that they don't coincide like effortlessly when they get like paired up. There's egos getting juggled and stuff like that. There's like so many, you feel the personalities like not really mending too well. So I like that it feels very natural and believable with when they get aligned, and it's not perfect, but it develops as you get to like through the second and third act, and you see progress with building this team slowly, not just like, oh, it's just automatic. So I do like that a lot. And I think everyone just gets, like Jake said, the perfect amount of time. I think you just get everyone's getting developed also. Like you get more of that Iron Man development, which is such a strong point in the first Iron Man, and you get even more of that in this. Well, maybe not more, but you get added development onto that. Like when he's having that argument with Cap of him like questioning him being like a hero or not. I don't know. I like the character work a lot in this, and I think that does. I know what Jake is saying with the filmmaking. I do see what he means with like the quality, and it's not really. It doesn't. Which he'll get into it. I know he can't wait to talk about it, but it really should feel more like a film, and it doesn't always throughout this movie. And I think that I see where that can take people out of it. It took me out of a lot of scenes. I don't remember noticing it before until I like watched it again. But yeah, Jake like pointed it out. I was like, yeah, this is like a lot of those like lit like daytime scenes, very like bright, very very flat. There isn't much contrast going on in a lot of it, and it feels a little wonky, a little bit. Like I don't know, it feels like the quality should be a little higher for this budget, like this big of a budget, I guess. So, but I know we're gonna have some disagreement here between. Because
I'll wait.
Yeah.
No, actually, I okay. So, I would like to hear the opposing side of things, but yeah, Josh sort of got into it a little bit, but I think the biggest issue with this movie is not so much the script, it's not the characters. Even though I will say I do have a little bit of issue with how Captain America is characterized in this movie. And it's not a huge flaw, but it's just a minor thing that sort of gets under my skin. That whole argument scene with Tony and Cap, I don't hate it, but there's parts of it where I feel like this is not Captain America. Now, I understand he's at a different place. This is not the same Captain America that we met in the first movie. This is a dude who was, who made the sacrifice play, took that ship, that plane into the ground to save New York from getting nuked and everything, and went into the ice for 70 years. Everybody he knows and loves is dead. All of the people he fought alongside, the woman that he was in love with, well, I guess not dead, but Peggy's pretty much dead. She's on death's doorstep, to say the least. Yeah. But no, like with his character, I just feel like getting into a pissing contest with Tony doesn't really work for me. Like the put on the suit. Like it just doesn't feel like Captain America to me. The type of guy to, like, from Tony Stark's perspective, it makes sense. Like, yeah, he's egotistical. He's still got a little bit of that arrogance in him, and that makes sense, especially when Tony is like, you're nothing. You're not a hero. You're just not. So stop pretending to be one. That makes a little bit more sense from Tony's perspective to be like hey, I got the big swingy dick in the room. That makes more sense for his character than it does Cap. So that pissing contest scene, I don't love it. I do think it has like a funny joke though, because he's like goading him, like put on the suit, and then the ship gets attacked, and then it goes from like an ego thing to, hey, put on the suit, like I do. So that works for me. But yeah, the overall filmmaking in this movie, that's what I think holds it back. I think as far as things like direction and blocking and cinematography and specifically lighting, I think this is probably the worst in phase one for me. I have my issues with a movie like Iron Man 2. I had my issues with Thor from a story and script perspective, but the stuff in Asgard and Thor 1 looks gorgeous. From the sets to the way that it's lit, the way that Thor's cape, the red just pops out of the screen. There's a lot to appreciate going on in the filmmaking there. And again, like I've highlighted it in our previous episodes, Iron Man 1 and 2, The Incredible Hulk and the first Thor movie, they all have the benefit of being shot on 35 millimeter film as opposed to digital filmmaking. And then Captain America 1, the first Avenger, has a blend of film and digital filmmaking. This one, it just looks to me so fake most of the time. When you take digital filmmaking and you don't light the scenes properly, you don't add proper shadows, you don't add contrast to the scene, and everything looks very flatly lit, especially like you highlighted in those daytime scenes, in the interior scenes. Like that whole argument scene with all of the Avengers when they're all arguing in that room and, you know, Hulk grabs the scepter and everything, and you get that pissing contest. That scene is so hideous to me. Like, it is such an eyesore. Everything. And then I look into the behind the scenes, and yeah, you just have a bunch of LED C-stands like blasting light into that room. It doesn't seem like they had any concept of how to light a scene in a cinematic way, and that lends to, I guess, more so Joss Whedon coming from a background of TV filmmaking where there is a lot more flatter lighting than your typical cinematic film. So that's just kind of what takes me out of a lot of the experience. I read on the Wikipedia that it has a $220 million budget, possibly $225 million. And I'm wondering why a movie like Iron Man, which had almost $100 million less in its budget, looks significantly better. That's kind of where I am. Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, you're not wrong. Now, what if the intent was to make it resemble TV?
Why would that be the intent?
I don't know. Maybe call back to like the older TV shows from Marvel. I don't know.
If they intentionally made the movie ugly, then that's fine. It can be intentional, but I still think it's a bad decision.
But like, they achieved what they're going for, which is your whole thing. They achieved it.
I mean, it still looks bad. I'd love to hear from Cade, because I feel like I don't know where you land on the look of this movie.
So okay, I do get the whole like lighting situation. I do get it. I don't think the movie looks terrible like at all. I do, but I do understand where it looks flat, how it can look like very like bland. But I feel like the way the story's like being told, you kind of like, at least for me, I don't fully notice that. Like, yeah, there's like these weird moments, like the sudden change in hue where Hawkeye's like beat red as he's getting out of the mind control from Loki, and he's just like he's like shakes his head. It's like, yeah, that's a little jarring, and then it goes back to the lighting as it was, but. It's funny how you say how it looks flat and everything. When we go further in the MCU and we get to Endgame, they go back to New York, and it's just a gray mess. Yeah, there's no color, there's no pop. It looks so dull. Like watching it when they go like further, like we go further on in engineering, cameras, and lighting, but yet it looks worse. Yeah. In a movie that comes out way later than it does now in 2012. And that's just always jarring to me. And especially watching it now, I'm like, this looks great. Like all the colors pop, like Captain America's suit, say what you will, it's the worst cap suit.
It is the worst cap suit.
It's the worst cap suit. We can all agree. But like it you can see him. Like you actually can see like the blue. Yeah. Everyone looks different. You see the yellow in Thor's hair, the green on Loki's outfit, the purple, even the hints of purple on Hawkeye's outfit you see. And it's just like...
Yeah, Jake, you should like that because it's not muted. You hate the whole desaturation fad.
Oh, no, I do. And again, I think the biggest issue in the movie is just the lighting. The lighting to me does look very flat. It looks very non-cinematic in a way that, you know, I think to like, and this just goes to, I think, who's a better director, but you look at the entire Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy where James Gunn, I think, is just a much better visual director than Joss Whedon. He knows, even his recent Superman film, like that is, I think, my ideal look for a movie like that, where the colors do pop, but you compare the scene of Lois and Clark arguing in his apartment to any of the interior, like compare that scene to the argument scene in this, where it just, again, like, it makes so much sense, like looking in that behind the scenes featurette, like why are you using all these shitty LED lights? It looks like a hospital room at certain points. And I can understand, and that's actually like a very solid counterpoint to where, yeah, there are moments where the colors do pop, but I think that it's sometimes a product of the lighting being so flat. Like, like if you're not really lighting the exterior scenes, like when in the final battle sequence, which that's my favorite chunk of the movie. To me, I guess I have very similar thoughts on this movie that I do Rogue One, where I'm not loving the first hour and a half of this movie. There's parts that I do find enjoyment in, but that last battle sequence, like there's some really great stuff in there. The whole oneer shot, where not the 360 circular shot of the Avengers, which is cool, it's iconic, that's great, but like there's that one yeah, it's the money shot, but there's that one shot where it's like going through the whole battle, and you're getting Iron Man flying, and you're cutting to Hawkeye, and he shoots his arrow, and then you follow the arrow, and you land on Hulk, and you're watching Hulk just smash a bunch of stuff. Like there's some really great stuff there, and I'm like, okay, from like a cinematography perspective, that's a really cool shot. It's really creative. I like that. And then I'm just like, in the back of my head, it's just what's pulling me out of it is just, yeah, everything looks so flat. Everything looks so lifeless outside of, the blue in Cap's costume. A lot of the colors do pop in a nice way. And that's something that I think digital filmmaking does kind of help with it. Certain colors will pop, especially when they stand out amongst like a very gray New York, like a lot of gray rubble, a lot of gray buildings. So when you get shots of like Cap and Thor and everything, and I got to throw this out there, I'm so thankful that Thor stopped dyeing his eyebrows yellow like that. That's a big step up in this movie.
That's really good.
And then, you know, I don't know. I see your standpoint. I see your point of view on it, and that is a good counterpoint in terms of the visual style. But in terms of the grand scheme of the MCU, I just don't love a lot of the way this movie looks. There are some scenes that are okay. You know, I think the scene when Black Widow is getting interrogated at the beginning of the film, when we're introduced to her character, I think that has some nice shadow work. You get a little bit of that Joss Whedon is a pervert vibe, and like I was pointing out before we started recording, but Pepper Potts in the first two Iron Man movies is always wearing like business attire and like professional business wear, and then in this movie it's like, oh, we're just gonna put her in the shortest jean shorts that have ever existed. Why? I don't know.
And
but
no shoes. And no shoes. She's barefoot. She goes barefoot in the elevator.
Well, Cade, that's what you didn't know, that Quentin Tarantino was on set those days? Like...
I guess so. Well, isn't like a thing that RDJ was like told to put in like lifts in his shoes?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably why it's like,
oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, he put in lifts in his shoes, and they had Gwyneth Paltrow take off her shoes during the Avengers because a man can't be shorter than a woman.
Do they do that in the Iron Man movies?
Maybe.
They probably put like lifts in his shoes, but I don't remember seeing her feet in the first two Iron Man movies.
Well, I don't remember seeing a height difference that much in the Iron Man movies, so I don't know like what their heights are, but geez.
It's crazy because Gwyneth Paltrow is like an inch higher than RDJ.
My God, that's
so
like
it's not that big of a deal.
Doesn't Tom Cruise do that? Doesn't he like?
Yeah, he does. It's an ego Hollywood thing, I guess.
They also did that. Remember when we were talking about the first X-Men movie? They put lifts in James Marsden's shoes to make him taller than Wolverine, because Hugh Jackman is a very tall man, and the character is not supposed to be tall.
At that point, who cares?
It's, I don't know, but yeah, I mean. So that is something that I'm curious about, like, because I don't love the first two acts of this movie. I especially think the first 10 minutes are genuinely bad. Like everything at the whole shield place,
base.
The shield base with the arc reactor. It feels very or not the arc reactor. What am I talking about? The Tesseract.
The Tesseract, yeah.
Yeah, the Tesseract, everything with that, I just don't love. It feels very... I'm comparing this to Rogue One, but like the first 20 minutes of this movie, first 25 minutes where you're introducing all these characters, it feels very much like the beginning of Rogue One, where in the first 10 minutes of that movie, you're jumping around to 5 or 6 planets in the span of like 10 minutes. It feels very jarring and jumbled, and I get that you are trying to juggle a lot of these characters and introduce them, and for the most part I think they do a good job, but I think like it could have been handled a little bit smoother. I don't know if I'm alone in that, but
No, yeah, I like. Well, I have some. I wanted to ask you guys a question that's like in the third act that always bothered me, but I think it's something everyone loves. But I'll wait on that, and if we have other things to talk about with the first act, how do you feel about like the setup with Hulk and Natasha, like that scene?
Like,
Well,
possible romance between the two.
No, just like more so Jake, like within that first act, like does that stuff bother you too? Like all like kind of like building that.
It's less the individual scenes and having a problem with the individual scenes, and more so how the overall sequences are structured.
Okay,
From
I don't
just
know
like
if you had a
an
problem
edit.
with more like the shield stuff in the beginning or like.
No, I do really like that scene with Natasha and Hulk. I like showing Hulk or Banner being in a more controlled state, like him testing her, and like I actually love a lot of the stuff with Widow and Hulk in this movie, because she's shown to be like a very hardened badass like assassin spy or whatever, and then in the scene after Hulk almost just demolishes her, she's like very clearly going through it in that moment. Like she's very traumatized by what just happened and like how scary the Hulk actually is. But that goes back to the scene at the beginning when they're introduced to each other, and I love when he's like, "Stop lying to me," and she like pulls the gun on him, and then she lets all the shield agents know to like lower their weapons.
You see
and
like
you
the
just
tears
get
in
this,
her eyes.
yeah,
like,
and
after
I
he yells at
love
her.
too, because it feels like with Banner you get a moment where he's like, not for 1 second did he trust her or believe that it was just the two of them, because he's smarter than that, and you already start off of a place of distrust, and that's like a heavy theme throughout this movie of these characters not trusting one another, them not only not trusting one another but not trusting Nick Fury, not trusting Shield. So there's a lot of secrets being kept.
Rightfully so, by the way.
Yeah, I love that line from Tony Stark when he's like, yeah, with Nick Fury, even his secrets have secrets. I think that's a great line. But
I love the later on when Nick Fury's trying to explain everything, and Tony just goes, "I'm sorry, what were you lying about?" And he just instantly shows the missiles being used.
yeah, I love that little bit too when Cap walks in and he's like, this is what Shield is doing. They're building they're building weapons with the Tesseract, and he just like looks at Tony. He's like, sorry, computer was taking too long. I just love that little bit. And there are like, I may have my issues with how Cap is characterized in certain scenes, but then there's other moments that I really like. Like I love him calling Black Widow ma'am repeatedly, just showing that like old-timey respect towards women, where he calls her ma'am, and I love that little sort of banter they have when she's like, hey Cap, you should sit this one out, they're basically gods, and he has that great line where he's like, man, there's only one god and he doesn't dress like that. It's like there are good little, this is definitely when you start to see more of the quips in these movies, that sort of Marvel MCU brand of humor, but it's not overly done to the point where you get to certain later MCU movies down the line, like Phase 4, where it's like they're cramming a joke in every other line. So you're not quite there yet, but
we haven't gotten to like Shang-Chi or Eternals level of constant quippage in like a not really needing it moment.
Did Eternals have jokes? I don't know why. I just remember that movie. I just remember that movie being like the driest, most bland Marvel movie, and that's why I didn't like it.
A lot of the jokes weren't like quippy sort of jokes.
Okay.
There, like they said, they were more dry. Like oh my god, what's his name? He's in the MonsterVerse movies as like the podcast guy. He's the voice of Megatron
Oh,
in Transformers 1.
he's also the voice of Miles' dad in the Spider-Verse movies.
Yeah.
He's in
Yeah,
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
He's like one of the more comic relief people in that movie.
I
And
even remember
it's-
in the trailer, the IKEA line. Where
Yes,
he's like, "What is this,
exactly.
vibranium?" IKEA.
Yeah, exactly.
Stupid.
It's
Yeah.
a stupid movie.
Yeah, I do not vibe with Eternals, but who knows? Maybe I've only saw it once when it was in theaters, so maybe when we get to that movie for this rewatch, maybe I'll enjoy it. I just don't. Actually, Josh may love it. Josh is a huge Chloe Zhao fan, like really big fan of hers. So,
Seen one movie from her.
oh, and he loves it. He loves it. Wait,
Yeah,
you didn't
yeah.
see you didn't see
And Jake-
Nomadland?
No, and Jake thinks he's like the coolest guy because he's the only one that doesn't like Hamnet. Whatever.
I thought Hamnet was okay. It was fine. I don't know. You should watch.
I have a text from
Nomadland.
Jake that says I very much enjoyed Hamnet, and then as a week or two went by, he's like, "Yeah, I really just didn't like it. It doesn't do it for me."
Never said I didn't like it. I said I gave you the good part, the
lot of
good
problems
parts and the
with it.
bad parts. Yeah, I do have a lot of problems with it. Don't fucking reuse music. It's cheap and lazy.
Oh, but he loves Arrival. Oh, look at that.
It's yeah, but Arrival is good outside of that use of the music.
Well, the difference between that is that Hamnet is great outside of that music also.
How do you feel about Interstellar constantly using the same theme, or this movie constantly using the main theme?
I love the Interstellar soundtrack, but
The music is good, but I don't like Interstellar as a whole. Like I think it's fine, but it feels like 2001: A Space Odyssey, but like the Temu version. Like 2001: A Space Odyssey is so like ethereal and out there, and it lets the audience come up with their own sort of meaning and understanding of the film. And Interstellar is like Matthew McConaughey's in the wall. He's the one who did it. Stop. Just stop explaining everything. I mean, I know Nolan loves to over-explain things,
Then
especially
lower your rating. How's that?
of what?
Interstellar, lower it if you don't like it. How's that?
What do I have it at?
Like a 3.5.
Yeah, that's about where it's 7 out of 10.
That's liking it. What?
I like it. I guess I appreciate it more than I like it. Like I can
there you go.
appreciate some of the cinematography and direction and character moments, but like as a whole, I don't love it.
All right.
Either way-
we'll talk about that later. Before we go on a 10-minute tangent on unrelated movies. How do you guys feel about Loki in this movie? Because I know that was a huge highlight in Thor.
Significantly worse than he is in Thor.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it just how they handle him, or is it
Yeah.
like? Yeah, because it's never going to be a problem with his performance. I think he's real.
No, Tom Hiddleston
nails
is
it.
great. The issue is you take a what seemed like a very complex, I don't want to say nuanced character, but it feels like in Thor that character had layers, and then in this movie it's just he's generic bad guy that wants to take over the world.
I remember him. I mean, he's in it throughout, but I remember him just being, I don't know, a little bit more present in this movie. Like, I don't know. It's kind of odd, like how he's treated as a villain. I
Yeah.
can't tell how strong he is because, well, I'll get into that later in the movie because it really pisses. Well, I could get into it now. I could just say what bothers me. Do you guys like when Hulk smashes him around?
I do. I think it's
I don't
funny.
get it. I don't get what I'm missing. I hate it. And everyone apparently loves that part. I don't know if it's just because it's funny.
It's just humor. Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense to me. It's like, I feel like Loki's smarter than that. They're not even that close together. So like when Hulk has to approach him to grab his feet, like, I don't know. I don't like having Loki just going into a monologue and then just getting defeated by literally smashing him. He's a god. I don't know why he's like, I don't know. It bothers me. It really. I remember when I first watched it, I was like, "Are you serious? That's the defeat?" I don't know.
Because
I don't get it.
Loki's not really a fighter. He's literally the god of mischief. He's a trickster.
He's smart though. He's smart.
Not that smart.
I mean, he kind of outsmarts a lot of people.
He's smart in a I think, but he's also arrogant. So I think that scene works because he approaches the Hulk going into a monologue and like, "Oh, you stupid giant creature," and then he gets the shit kicked out of him.
I don't know. I saw him battle Thor in the last one, and it seemed like he put up more of a fight than he does against Hulk. And I know Thor can beat Hulk in a fight, at least I think. I don't know.
Yeah, they never really explained that. They
it
don't
just
really, like,
felt too
give
easy.
a determined answer. Yeah.
Like
I think it's more of just
presented as such a threat, and then it's just
he underestimates the Hulk. I think that's why that scene works for me. Like, it is humor, but I think he underestimates the Hulk, and he really just thinks he's like a big lumbering monster, which I mean he kind of is. But I don't. It's not like I'm not docking points because of that scene. Like I think
it just bothers me. That's just like it just.
Cade,
really
what do you
me.
think? Do you like that scene or?
I don't know. I didn't really like give it much more thought than just funny scene with Hulk defeating Loki. But I never noticed, like, literally, that's how Loki himself is defeated. He just, after that happens, the next time we see him, it's all the Avengers like see him on the ground as he slowly gets up. Like, did he just pass out after that wheeze? Like, that was the last bit of energy. Does he not?
Doesn't Loki lose?
He shows up again.
That is the last time he beats him because they're like they win the battle and that's when Tony Stark is like, oh, I want shawarma, and then he's like, wait, we have one more thing to do, and then it's
because
him waking up.
The last third act is more focused on like the aliens and the Chitauri coming to Earth rather than like them beating Loki.
Dude,
exactly.
I just remembered he absorbs like bullets when they're shooting at him, like in the beginning. They're literally shooting guns at him.
Well, I think they bounce off his armor, I think.
Okay. He's wearing his armor when Hulk smashes him.
Now, you could attest this to maybe him wanting to get captured, but like let's also not ignore the fact that he also lost in a fight to Captain America and Iron Man earlier on in the movie. And it doesn't seem like maybe he wanted to get captured, but he also does have an ego to him. That's the thing though. Loki, he may be an Asgardian, but he's not a fighter. He wins. He even like with Thor, like Thor's kind of kicking his ass, and the only reason that Thor gets downed is because he tries to reason with Loki, and Loki stabs him, which Loki loves to do. So I just don't think Loki's that strong of a fighter to begin with.
I feel like he would underestimate hell's his name? Coulson, right? When he's aiming the gun at him, he would underestimate a normal human being with a gun, but he outsmarts him when he comes behind him and slices him, stabs him.
He still gets shot by the thing though.
Yeah.
I forgot that happens. I remember him stabbing Coulson, but I forgot that Coulson like shoots him.
Full on shoots him in the face, yeah.
How do we feel as a group about that scene? Like, and I guess just about Coulson's death as a whole being like what worked. Yeah.
I'm not that big on Coulson, to be honest. He doesn't do it for me in any of these movies, like when we're introduced to him.
He's just there. I think he's fine. He's a fine addition to the cast. He's like another layer to S.H.I.E.L.D., another face to like kind of go to. He kind of fills in the role that later on like Happy does with the Avengers, where it's like it's an easier get to like bring in someone that's kind of associated with them.
Yeah.
Rather than like bringing like a bigger name actor like Nick Fury with Samuel L. Jackson. But his whole whatever continuity you want to go with, his death, quote unquote, it doesn't hit hard as in like, oh, it's a tragic death. It's more of a boost to the Avengers because it's someone they know was killed. And it's more personal to each of them because he had interactions with each person before, well, except Bruce Banner. But like he's had and Hawkeye, I guess. But he knows Tony. He's talked with Tony a bunch of times. He's a huge fan with Captain America. He was involved with Thor's mission a lot and like is more personal with him. So like the three of them get hit the hardest on that death.
Yeah.
I guess I don't buy into his relationship with any of them to make me believe that Nick Fury showing them the cards and having that be the motivator.
Well, that was full on gaslighting.
Right. But like even if
I have a
it's like,
question.
Yeah.
Because it is highlighted by Maria Hill that the cards were found in Coulson's locker, not in his jacket. So the question is, did Nick Fury
do that?
Well, did he take those cards and dip them in Coulson's blood? There's blood on those cards.
Yeah,
How did
he
it get
has
there?
to.
You know how there's a smear on the wall when
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. A little bit of technical issues, but we're back. We were talking Agent Coulson, whether his death works or not. And I realized this during the technical issues, but Cade, have you watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I've seen the first season.
Okay.
But
did you see the second season at all?
Not all of it. I know
Okay.
about the twist with like one of them being like a Hydra agent and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then one of the characters is like an Inhuman and like all that, and then I just stopped watching because it got super CW with me.
Yes, and that so that is interesting because I think like Coulson as a character does have a little bit more of an important place in your mind if you've seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but if you haven't, then it's really like, oh, hey, this guy who showed up a couple of times in the movies is now suddenly what inspires the Avengers to work as a team. And I don't hate it because like obviously this is like the first Avengers movie, so they're not going to kill off any important characters. I mean, that's just the MCU as a whole. And like even now post Endgame, like, hey guys, Steve is back. Hey guys, the guy who played Iron Man is playing Doctor Doom. Death means nothing, you know. I'm half expecting fucking Black Widow to come back, but yeah, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I'm just sort of neutral on using Coulson's death because I do think he has a little bit of a relationship and dynamic with Tony. And I forgot to mention this, but I really do like him being a fanboy of Captain America. I think that's like a fun little character detail to where like he's really excited about, you know, his Captain America trading cards. And we didn't talk about it, Josh, on our episode of Iron Man 2, but in that episode or in that movie, there is a moment where you see like a prototype of Captain America's shield in Tony's office when he's trying to build some machine or whatnot, and he notices the shield and he's like, why do you have that? And he gets you see the look on his face, like he's excited, like you can tell that like he likes and loves Captain America, and then Tony ends up just using it as like a way to level the machine.
Yep.
But yeah, I like that little detail. It is weird because like we were just talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There is a scene or an episode where Lady Sif from Thor shows back up on Earth, and she's like, oh, Coulson, like Thor will be really happy to know that you're alive. And Coulson is like, can you not tell him? And she's like, but he considers you a friend. And I'm like, were they friends? Like, did they have much?
Yeah, they were talking about Bill Schneip and everything. They were totally friends. It's fine.
But yeah, so I mean, I feel like we've talked about a good amount of, I guess, the first and second act, but I love the battle. You know, the look of the battle aside, I don't love the way that it's lit. I recognize the added bonus and benefit of the colors of the suits popping, even as ugly as Captain America's suit is. I love the dynamic of the characters in this, though. Like, I love the moment when they all sort of team up together, and Iron Man in that moment is like, call it, Cap. Like, he recognizes that Captain America is the leader of this little squad, and he is an actual... It ties back to, like, a really great scene earlier on, right after Coulson does die, with Tony and Steve, where you can see that Steve and Tony are processing this death differently. Steve is like, what? This is the first time you lost a soldier. And Iron Man sort of snaps at him, and he's like, we are not soldiers. And you get that, like, hey, this is a rich billionaire dude who just started being a hero, whereas Captain America was literally fighting Nazis in World War II. He's a soldier. And that is really good character development, if you ask me. But just in that moment later on in the battle where Iron Man realizes, like, I'm out of my element. I may be smart and intelligent, but I'm not some war-torn battle-hardened soldier. This is Cap's team, and he needs to be the one to lead it. But yeah, everything in the final battle, I love. I brought up that tracking shot earlier. Obviously, the iconic circular 360 shot, which is just awesome. It's the most iconic shot in Marvel.
I love the Iron Man beams off of Cap's shield. That's like my favorite part of the battle.
I think that's during the tracking shot.
Because when you were saying it, I was like, wait, isn't that when he shoots the beams off of his shield?
Yeah.
That's so good. It kind of made me think of when we were talking about the Fantastic Four movies and how they actually, I like that they utilize each other's strengths to work together to defeat this boss fight. But I like that it's long too. You get a very lengthy battle, and I feel like we lose that sometimes. Even with I think some of my criticisms with, I mean, we talked in Cap 1 and Iron Man 2, those final battles just don't feel as like lengthy as I want them to. And this goes on for what, like 15 20 minutes maybe?
Yeah, I'd say like bordering on like 25. Like it is a long extended battle sequence, and something too that I love about it is it's not just like army versus army, hero versus bad guy. Like as much as I enjoy Endgame and I like the portal scene, or even something like Infinity War, you know, it's a lot of just armies running at each other, and like this one, I like that there is more of like an objective and a goal. It reminds me of, I just last weekend rewatched the entire Lord of the Rings extended trilogy, like all the extended versions. And the Helm's Deep battle, like they lay the foundation of that battle earlier on in the film, and they give you like focal points and points of emphasis of the setting. And I love that they do that in this final Avengers film. They're not just like battling over a MacGuffin, but there's multiple things working throughout the battle. They have the portal, which they have to deal with on top of the army.
You must hate that, Jake. The beam in the sky.
Well, all right, yeah, I do hate the blue beam in the sky. I hate that, you know, that trend.
It's that era. It's that era of movies.
Cade, did you remember that there is a blue beam in the sky in the first Iron Man movie?
No, I didn't. I fully forgot.
We said that while recording. We're like, oh, I think when we did that first Iron Man movie, we're like, I think we selectively blocked this out of our memory, because we're like, you think about the first Avengers as the first time they do it, but
right,
yeah,
Iron Man does it, and I'm pretty sure doesn't a Transformers movie do it?
Cap does it too. When he holds the Tesseract, and we said it was a little cooler because it opens up. You see like glimpses of like that
the galaxy.
The galaxy. So
it
works better in Avengers though.
Cade brought up a Transform. Is it the first one? Because they have
I think it's the first one.
Essentially, they have the Tesseract, but it's like a different cube.
it's the cube. Yeah, they literally call it the cube. I'm pretty sure it's the first one, the first like Michael Bay one, and then there's Avengers, and then after that it's Man of Steel with the gravity machine.
Man of Steel does it. Force Stick does it.
Oh God! I forgot Fan Force Stick existed.
We shouldn't be talking about that.
I think that might be the only movie on this podcast that I ever gave lower than a 1 out of 10 to.
I hate it so much.
That movie. I
have to watch it for my podcast soon. That's gonna
have fun. I told Jake it took me like 3 to 4 separate sittings to finish it.
Oh no!
Oh it's my God. Bad. It is.
I just
it is
kept
a bad
pausing
movie.
it and doing anything else I could get my hands on.
Oh, that's great. You got a stink.
I did chores over watching that movie. But yeah.
So, Cade, any highlight moments for you in this final battle scene? Like obviously you got the oneer, you got the bouncing the beam off of Cap's shield. Anything else we're missing?
I really like. Besides the oneer and the hero shot, Cap's shield, I also really like the end of the oneer when it crashes through Grand Central Station, that big alien, and it ends with Hulk punching Thor as a joke. As like a get back after he kind of was like beating, he was like dogging him a bit on the helicarrier. But I really like the point of like the elevation and tension of like, okay, they're kind of like settling with the aliens a little bit. They figure out what they got to do. They're going to close the portal. All of a sudden, there's a nuke coming, by the way.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that is the worst idea I think I've ever heard of anyone in like these Marvel movies, because
Just
that is
nuke
a
it.
point. Just nuke it, because that is an argument that you do not bring up now, especially with Civil War later on. How does no one remember that? That really bothered me. Like, how does no one say like, yeah, the Avengers are a problem. They cause collateral damage, everything. The option B was a nuke. Like, come on.
That is why Civil War as a script fundamentally does not work for me. I like that movie. I think it's enjoyable. There's some fun action set pieces in that movie, but the base script of, and it's all centered around Tony's guilt, which is fine. That's his thing, I guess, in the MCU is, oh, I feel guilty about this, so let me fucking create a death robot that's going to take over the world. But my issue with Civil War is what was the alternative? And they bring up the Battle of New York and the Battle of Sokovia in Age of Ultron. What were the alternatives? You have an alien invasion taking over New York, already bad enough. Second, a nuke was fucking sent, which would have decimated millions of innocent lives. That's just in the Avengers 1, in this one. Battle of Sokovia, if they lose that fight, Ultron takes over the entire fucking world. So, sorry, they destroyed a couple buildings. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Fuck you, Iron Man. You're such a piece of shit.
Yeah, with I can kind of see with Sokovia. This is more talk about Ultron, which we'll get into that.
Yeah, in Age of Ultron.
But the whole argument with that is like, if they'd never created Ultron, this would have never happened. But anyway, back with the
and sorry, who created Ultron?
Tony Stark.
He's a piece of shit.
Not in this movie. He catches the nuke and then sends it up into the portal, and that's like what I really like, that point of tension, to the point where like everyone like is holding their breath, like, holy shit, this better work.
Yeah, it felt a lot like Cap's sacrifice when he's like calling Peggy, and when he's I love when he's calling Pepper and she's just like watching it, and you see in the background the phone like ringing. Yeah. And you just get those like added layers of like emotion, and you see like call failed, and I think that scene's really done. Like the close up of his eyes, like I think that looks good, Jake. I think the lighting's good there.
I was that. Okay, yes. When I said that most of this movie looks bad, I did not mean that every single frame looks like shit. There are a couple of moments where,
but that's like that's a really good shot. Like the colors, like on his eyes, and like him. Yeah,
it's very the sound design in that shot is really great too, because it's very like claustrophobic. There's like the zero sound of space, but you hear like his heavy breathing inside the mask as he's like approaching it, and then you just get that great wide shot of the nuke hitting what I guess is Thanos's one of his ships. I mean, they don't really say it.
The Chitauri,
the mothership of the Chitauri, which is great.
There's a couple things about that really pisses me off.
Oh, let's hear it. I'd love to hear it.
So with the movie itself, it has a Phantom Menace style of ending, where you destroy the mothership and all the army forces are just decimated. Is that like, are we dealing with the Flaxons now from Invincible? What's going on here? Like what's happening here? So that pisses me off too. I remember while watching it, there's a deleted scene of Endgame where it's Rocket and them talking about like the Chitauri in New York, and it's like, why don't you just blow up the mothership? They're the suckiest army in the galaxy. And it's like, we didn't know that was a thing. It's like, you didn't know that was a thing? Fuck you, Rocket.
Is that when
Tony Stark shaves the back of his head?
Shaves the back of his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great deleted scene. But hey, that goes back even further, man. Like, spoilers for Lord of the Rings. Like when Sauron is destroyed, like his army goes bye-bye.
That's like,
you know?
it's magic and everything like that. And it's more like the world is like repairing itself by destroying like this evil army. With
Yeah.
Avengers, it's like, why are we dealing with these guys like they're battle droids? Like even like the big like gunship like Leviathan looking things, they full on just drop out of the sky and land on top of a building and cause more damage than they did when they were floating around.
Yeah.
What?
I love the Leviathans though in this. Like it's already like it's just such a good sense of scale that's added to the battle where it's like, oh, it's not just these aliens that are attacking and causing mass destruction, but now you have these giant fucking Goliath-sized Leviathans, these giant like space worms that are just flying through. And then a great moment that we didn't even highlight yet, but one of the best moments of the battle, that's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry. And his transformation, and he just turns around and domes that giant Leviathan.
With the music building and everything. Yeah. That's great.
That is a great moment. I do find it funny that like, and it's the common joke in the MCU that like in the original Avengers team, you have a god basically with Thor, you have a genius billionaire playboy philanthropist in a suit of armor, you have a super soldier Hawkeye who has the best aim in the world, you know, a Hulk, and then there's just moments where it cuts to Black Widow and she's just got 2 pistols and she's just like pew 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 pew. It's very funny.
That just brings me back to that SNL skit where it's like, I did helped all these people. What'd you do, Hawkeye? I killed 12 aliens. I'm out of arrows.
I remember
going home now.
I do remember back when Infinity War was about to come out and people were like, what is Black Widow gonna do? She's gonna try to do that spinny head kick thing that she does on everybody. She's gonna try to do that to Thanos, and he's gonna throw her into the fucking sun. Like I thought.
I had a question that I was kind of confused about. I might have missed something with Hulk.
Yeah.
When is he able to like direct his anger to the bad thing?
Don't think about it.
Yeah.
That's a secret, Josh. He's always angry.
Josh, we talked about this in The Incredible Hulk. They're very wishy-washy on the Hulk's ability to control himself.
Yeah.
So
it's such a like he's fighting every teammate throughout the movie, and then we get to Act 3 and he's like, nah, you guys are good. I'm gonna go fight the bad guy now. I don't get it. It's just like
it's cause Cap said Hulk smash.
He's like, all right.
I get it now.
I think it's weird because in the comics and even in the animated shows, they very much don't do like any Bruce Banner stuff really, except for like Hulk comics. They more focus on the duality. But when it comes to like other comics or other shows, it's very much Hulk centered. Like he's more of a cognitive like being. Like he understands what's happening here. He's not a completely stupid rage monster. And it's I don't know, like the dynamic works. It's just that he's very easy to tick off a little bit. It's just like easier with him. But in this movie, it's it's like very wishy-washy. Like how do you explain
like really
it's very
persistent on killing Black Widow. Like he really wants her dead.
Yeah, that's
like
a good
badly.
scene when he's chasing her through the ship. Now, Cade, I wanted to ask because I know where me and Josh land on it. Who do you prefer as Banner, Ed Norton or Ruffalo?
I kind of prefer Mark Ruffalo as
so do we.
Yeah, he brings a bit more edge and more of a sadness to Bruce Banner that's very much needed.
And a scientist.
And a scientist kind of look compared to Edward Norton, who looks like a fucking idiot.
Well, that's what we talked about in the Incredible Hulk episode was I can buy into Mark Ruffalo being this really brilliant scientist who has this dark side to him, this like unfiltered kind of unbridled like secret anger boiling up inside of him. I think he portrays that a lot better than Ed Norton does, where it's like you feel like Ruffalo is keeping something in and can snap at any moment, even though he's sort of mild-mannered, whereas Ed Norton, you don't really get that vibe from him.
I would even prefer Eric Bana as Hulk and Bruce Banner than Edward Norton. Like after watching the Hulk movie for the very first time, I could full on believe like that's Bruce Banner right there.
Yeah,
dramatic
plus you
tragic childhood.
You get the nice motion capture finally, where you can actually see Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk.
Yeah, I didn't know that they had done that until I was watching the behind the scenes of the movie, where this Avengers movie, that's the first time that they do mocap for the Hulk. I don't know why. I guess I just didn't look into the behind the scenes of the '08 Hulk movie, but I just assumed that maybe they did mocap for that. But then, like, watching this movie with that added knowledge, you can really see Ruffalo's performance in the Hulk, where you don't really get Ed Norton in the '08 version of that character.
I think the issue is probably because they couldn't have two guys in mocap hitting each other, especially when they're both green, with him and Abomination.
Abomination.
It was probably gonna be really tough to animate and like capture properly. So it was just easier to do it in this movie where there's a bunch of other people that don't have mocap on.
Yeah, no, that's a solid point. I do like, I gave this movie a lot of shit for its aesthetic and its visuals. I think there's a couple of decent shots outside of the action from just a camera movement perspective. There's a really great use of reflection in the scene of Black Widow getting interrogated, when you get a shot of her being questioned, and it's in the reflection of a mirror. I thought that was really nice. I really like that shot when, despite the lighting being atrocious in that argument scene on the helicarrier, I do like how the camera kind of slowly moves around and moves back, and then it sort of flips upside down and lands on the scepter, Loki's scepter. So and it really just flips things, kind of on its head. And it's just a good visual storytelling. So it's not like everything in this movie looks terrible. I really just think it comes down to the lighting for me. Like, I really, just a little bit more contrast, just light the scenes a little bit more creatively. Again, like, you look in that behind the scenes, and they're not used. They're like, in film school, the first thing they teach you in cinematography is like 3-point lighting, where it's like you got the key light, the fill light, and the backlight. And they followed that rule to a T in this movie, because every scene you're not really getting like a scene where there's only a key light or only a fill light or only a backlight. Like, most of the scenes you're getting hit from like a trifecta of light, and it just makes everything look a little washed out and flat. But yeah.
So it sounds like your main issues was lighting, first 10 minutes, and the one convo with Cap and Iron Man, the dick swinging contest.
Yeah, I'd say those were like my main issues. A little bit of mischaracterization, the lighting, and just that first like 10-15 minutes having like some pacing issues. Like, I think once all of the characters are introduced, I think it gets a lot better from there. But unfortunately, that's when they're on the helicarrier, and I think the helicarrier scenes are the worst looking in the movie, like from a visual perspective. But yeah, there's a deleted scene that I wish that they had kept in the movie, and it's supposed to happen earlier on in the film, where Steve Rogers is eating at a diner, and the waitress is Ashley Johnson, who's a famous voice actor. I know me and Cade are really big on the two Critical Role shows that she voices on. She's also Ellie. Yeah, she's Ellie in The Last of Us, but there's a scene and she doesn't know he's like Captain America, and they're just like having a conversation, and then later on he saves her. So in the movie, it's a little strange because she's like running out of the building, and she looks at Steve, who's now had his helmet ripped off, so it's just his normal face, and she has like this weird look at him, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But if you have that scene that was deleted earlier on, where they have an interaction prior to the Battle of New York, it makes a little more sense. And then she's also in that montage at the end where they're interviewing civilians, and she has like possibly the most memorable line outside of Stan Lee's, being like, Cade's opening quote, like, superheroes in New York. But she has that break. Give me a break. But she has that line where she's like, no, Captain America saved my life. Like, he's a hero. Yeah. And I like that little bit. But I wish they had included that deleted scene. I think it would have been. It's a short scene. It would have added like a little 2 minutes of runtime. Come on, Joss.
Oh, here's a little nitpick I had that I just don't get with Thor. When he's trapped in that glass cage kind of thing, and Loki like drops it from the sky. Do I buy into him getting affected if he doesn't get out of that? Because I remember in Thor, when he's banished from Asgard, I mean, he's fallen from the sky within Earth. This one, he's fallen from a whole different planet to another planet, and he crashes in the ground.
Well,
he's like,
I think in Thor
maybe he
that's
uses
the
teleporter, right?
magic. Well, I think in Thor the magic sends him down, so like he lands, but it's not like a
really
full on
crashes
fall.
into that ground though.
It's kind of like a really rough teleportation.
Rough teleportation. That's a great way to describe it. And then he gets hit by a car from fucking Darcy.
He's a god though. Would that really have hurt him if he fell in that thing?
I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, you get a good line from Loki where he's like, the humans think we're immortal. Should we test that? So
yeah,
who knows?
Probably not.
I mean,
but if it did, it would be one less thing that Loki had to worry about.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, again, we've already highlighted like the power scaling in the MCU is not always the most consistent with these characters.
Yeah.
Like,
so.
Yeah. Sorry, Cade, what were you saying?
No, to go off of what Josh said later on with Thor, why was he struggling with the hammer there?
When he was like reaching for it?
Yeah, when he reached for it, it didn't like respond.
I
to
don't
him at
know.
all.
I don't know.
I feel like they were trying to set up something there, and it just never did.
Well, didn't they kind of set that up with?
That was a little odd.
In Ragnarok, did they not like go to that also, where he loses? He doesn't. Well, I have to watch Ragnarok again.
His hammer gets destroyed by Hela.
Oh, it's just destroyed. Okay. I thought there was
in Love and Thunder. It talks about like him not owning Mjolnir anymore.
Oh, maybe it was.
Oh well, in Love and Thunder, he spends the entire movie trying to fuck his hammer. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was like the first time that tried to happen, and the hammer's just like no.
I need those deleted scenes. Give me those.
I also have a question. How do you guys feel about the change in character trajectory that was Thanos? With that post credits sort of being more comic accurate Thanos of him being like to court death and like stuff like that, and he's like yeah, okay, I'll do that, and to more of this more philosophical kind of character where he's more like on a cleansing like the half of the universe to like balance things out rather than do it for his own ego.
I like.
Do you know about that, Josh? Like his comic storyline, as opposed
not
to the movie
too much,
ones?
no.
So in the comics,
weird.
his plan, it's not like some moral self-righteous thing about saving the universe by cutting half of the population because resources or whatnot. He literally wants to do it there's like a literal incarnation of death in the comics, and he is in love with death, and so he wants to impress death. That's why the post-credit scene of this, that's why the character says, oh, to do that would be to court death, and he has that smile on his face.
Yeah, no, I like the change a lot more. I
do too.
Funny enough,
because it just makes it like all of our problems, like your issue with like all the villains besides Loki in Phase 1 is that they're too like it's just like one-dimensional evil.
Yeah,
you know.
Funny enough, there is a Lady Death like in the MCU now. Like it's confirmed. Like there's, and I'm pretty sure it's Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, it's Aubrey Plaza. She shows up in I want to say Agatha all along. Yeah. We finally got Mephisto too.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Sacha Baron Cohen.
Wow, I cared when.
That would you believe me if I told you that Mephisto's first appearance is in Ironheart? Yeah. Apologies, listeners, if you can hear it. My neighbors decided to do that thing where they drag a chair across the floor, I guess. Either way, is there anything else that we're missing or want to talk about in this movie? I didn't take a ton of notes, but I feel like we covered a lot of ground in this movie.
Took no notes.
Wait, Josh, have you watched New Girl?
No.
It's perfect. No notes. No notes. No notes. No notes.
Should I watch it? I don't know.
It's an okay it's a funny show. Okay. It's a very good like comfort show. It's easy to watch. Yeah. It's not like I got
some girls telling me that I would like it, then I got like other people saying you will not like it. And I'm like, well, I guess I got to find out.
The one complaint I've seen cuz Colin watched New Girl for a good bit. he said like the first like season and a half are a little rough on the main character.
Yeah.
Like she's a little like not really that funny. Then she gets really funny really fast.
Really? Because I'm not a big Zoe fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I will say that I don't think Zoe Deschanel ever gets funny in that show, but
really?
the supporting cast is what
I would watch it
makes
for Winston. I think that's what I'm like. I hear good things
You
about.
you would not like Winston, Josh.
Really? God damn it!
Winston
think
is like the Kevin of the New Girl, where he starts out and
Really?
he's normal, and like as the show goes on, he becomes like almost a character of himself by the
Fine.
end.
How about Nick?
I think you'd like Nick.
Okay.
But Schmidt.
Schmidt is my favorite. The way that he pronounces
no,
words
I think it's
is
Schmidt.
hilarious.
I think it's Schmidt. I get confused who the characters are. Hang on. Let me.
Well,
I gotta look
there's
up.
there's
I gotta look
only
up who
one
Winston is.
black one, and it's Winston.
Well,
Okay,
Oh, no,
technically
no,
two
Winston
black
was who I was thinking
characters.
of.
Okay,
I
think you
might
didn't.
like Schmidt. I don't know.
it's an easy show to watch. It's
Yeah.
not too
I just
hard
have so many
to-
other shows as Jake knows to watch before New
It's
Girl.
do not put it on the top of your list of things to get to. Please watch The Leftovers first.
I gotta watch Invincible.
Yeah, you do. Peaky
good.
Blinders, watch that.
pretty good. Yeah, Colin.
Game of
finished season
Thrones.
Maybe
Josh,
the first 5 seasons.
I've seen the most of season 8, if you could believe that. Because
I feel sorry for you.
like I was around.
What you
people that
should
were
do,
watching
Josh,
it, so I
is
was
you
like,
should watch the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones and then never watch another episode.
Yeah, I remember Jake saying that. There's no way 5 and 6
and 6
aren't
are
good.
fine.
Yeah.
5 and 6
6
are
are-
5 and 6 are fine, but if you watch 5 and 6, you're gonna want to see how the story ends.
Yeah.
Whereas if you watch the first 4 seasons, it ends on a note where you can be satisfied.
I heard season
And also
7's
5
good
and
too.
5 and 6, 5 and 6 are fine. 5 and 6 are fine. They are significantly worse than 1 through 4 from a writing perspective. Season 6 has the sand snakes.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't expect a Game of Thrones discussion in the Avengers episode.
Yeah, for real.
Nah,
we
that's
do
true.
that.
All right. Yes. Back to the Avengers. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about, or should we get to ratings and wrap this up?
Yeah, I'm good for,
I
I'm
think
good for
I
ratings.
think it's good to wrap up.
All right. Cool. So, as you are our guest, Cade, why don't you kick us off with ratings?
I have it at an 8.1 out of 10. I
Okay.
really like this most recent rewatch, especially because like it's
Good stuff.
very nice to see the start of like the MCU. Like yeah, Iron Man like kicked it off technically, but like this was like its first big boom, and ever since then it's been like kind of building more and more off of it to the point where we got to Endgame and has fallen off a tiny bit, but like it's like
Yeah.
Anyways, this is like the first like big step that they've did, and I think they've really nailed it with this more like smaller story of like these 6 characters against one big bad, and it's just I wouldn't say perfect. It's not a perfect movie. It's just a nice breezy movie to go through.
Nice. Yeah, this
I
is
will-
what put the MCU into like the cultural zeitgeist. This is what made it like the most popular thing in pop culture.
Yes.
I'll save Jake's for last, so I'll go next.
Yeah, I'm going last. Yeah.
I am rolling with a 7.3 out of 10.
Okay.
Nice.
I really like. I think the script is like really well done. I think we really highlighted the characters. I think that's the best thing about it. And we really talked highly about that third act. I think it, I do have problems with it. Like I wish Loki kind of like matched the level he was at with Thor in my eyes as a villain. And yes, it doesn't look the best. I get it. Whatever. I found it weird that I was defending this to Jake because I always thought I was low on this movie compared to like others, but man, yeah, I didn't expect Jake to be so low on this, but maybe he'll surprise me with this rating. I don't know.
All right, well,
He's not-
I guess
he's
I'm
not-
last.
He's gonna let me down.
I'm gonna give the first Avengers a 6.5 out of 10.
All right, I could live with that.
Ooh.
I like this movie. I do not love this movie. I think the last 30 minutes, the whole battle sequence, is like a really great superhero short film, but I can't get over the way this movie looks. That like the filmmaking and cinematography and lighting are such important aspects of a movie for me, to where I cannot overlook a movie with this budget looking significantly worse than all of the other Phase 1 movies, even though it had like $100 million more than most of them. Like, I still think that first Iron Man movie looks great. The interior scenes, the exterior scenes looks really, really good. And then I cut to this and I'm like, this looks more like a $90 million movie than it does a $220 million movie. And that frustrates me a lot. And I just don't think Joss Whedon is a great visual director. I think the action sequences in this are really great. I think there's a lot of like really good camera movements and good wide shots and a lot of great stuff in the action sequences. But I know that in a lot of big budget superhero movies, the director of the movie is not always the one who is directing the big set action pieces. So I don't even know if I can give him credit for that. And he's also a pervert, so there's that. I enjoy it. I think I know I'm in the minority. I know that most people still to this day love this movie, and a lot of people consider this one of their favorites, put it in their top 5. It's just, it doesn't click with me. I think all of the characters in this one, while I think it juggles them well, I think they are all more interesting in their own solo movies than they are in this movie. But yeah,
It's fair.
yeah, 6.5 out of 10.
Cool.
Okay, before we get on out of here, Josh, I think it's your turn for a question. If not, I have a question because I'm curious.
You got a question, you're curious, just get it out there.
So,
I'm not going to waste anyone's
on
time here.
on our Incredible Hulk episode, I said that Liv Tyler was my least favorite actress, and then Josh made the point like, oh, she's better in Lord of the Rings. I rewatched Lord of the Rings. She is terrible in those movies as well. She is the only person giving a bad performance in Lord of the Rings. Like, it is distracting. Nope, she is.
All right, go on.
So I am curious. Liv Tyler is solidified as my least favorite actress. Who, and this can be actress or actor, who is both of your, Cade, who is your least favorite actor or actress? Josh, who is your second least favorite? Because I know Tim Allen is your number one.
Damn it. Damn it.
God. Is this just any movie or?
Yep, any actor or actress. Who is the actor or actress that just grinds your gears, gets under your skin?
I think I got it. But I want to think. I want to think about a couple. I have so many that are just like floating in my head. So I could probably think of worse, but like these are the ones that really come up to me.
Yeah.
I
have
stand.
like one, but it's very. Everyone says that he's bad.
I can't stand.
Wait, Cade, is it The Rock?
That's a good one. No.
Okay. Because everybody hates The Rock.
He's pretty bad, but no.
Yeah.
I was thinking of someone else.
Who wants to go first? Do you want to go, Cade, or I could go?
I'm trying to think of someone. If you want to go first, go ahead.
All right, I'll throw him out there because I cannot stand Nick Swartzen.
Who?
Yeah. He's always a side guy in Adam Sandler movies. He has a couple.
No.
He has a couple leading roles, and don't ask me why I watched Bucky Larson a long time ago. It was one of the worst things I have ever witnessed in my life. It was awful. I just can't do it. The only thing he's tolerable in, and not even, actually, I'm not even gonna say, no, he's not. And he's probably a fun guy. He's probably like super chill to hang out. But every character he plays is the most annoying. I've like almost never laughed once. Maybe in Just Go With It, I might have giggled a couple times.
Isn't his character's name in that Ivan Drago?
Yeah, it's no, it's Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, it's Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah. So I was gonna say Ed Helms because we were just talking about it. It was pretty relevant.
Oh, I like it. I like Ed Helms.
No, you don't.
I do. I think he's.
Although
I think he's fine.
I wasn't gonna say it because I actually got a Snapchat memory of me recording a scene from The Office when he's getting his ear pierced. That actually is a funny Andy moment when Kelly's like piercing it and she puts the ice and he's like, son of a bitch. And she's like, I just put the ice on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You sing and Adam Sandler made me instantly think of what's his name?
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider. Yeah. I instantly thought of Rob Schneider, but no, my original one was gonna be Jared Leto.
Wow.
Oh.
I don't like Jared Leto as an actor.
Now, out of curiosity,
that's a good one.
Have you seen Requiem for a Dream or Dallas Buyers Club?
No.
Okay.
I haven't seen either of them.
Okay.
And I'm worried that if I watch him now, I'm not going to like his performance. I really hope he's good because those are on my list of movies eventually to watch.
In those,
yeah.
I think.
So I know I've seen the one scene of him. I think they're in like an RV or something and he's like cackling. And that's like everyone like looks at that scene. It's like, that's the scene that should have made in the Joker. And it's like, it's fine. But like,
See,
I with that and then getting what we got, I feel robbed.
See, I think he's actually the best Joker because with all the other Jokers, how am I supposed to know that they're damaged if they don't tattoo it on their forehead?
Yeah. Or funny because of their license plate that they had to go to the DMV and get specially made that says ha ha ha.
Or accurate because he has like metal grills in because of how many times Batman's punched him in the mouth.
I really dig the laughing tattoo on the hand to really like to just do that little bit anytime he wants to like laugh at someone.
Aw, you don't want any beef. You just want any beef.
I'm gonna send you guys a clip. Have you guys ever watched The Haunting Hour?
No.
There's a guy. He's actually in Peacemaker. He's in that. He plays Fear in that, and that's who Jared Leto modeled his performance after. When you hear him in that movie, it's the same exact voice. I'll send that to you guys. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah, like
good. At least Cade gave like a nice main guy actor. I kind of gave like a cheap like side character actor that doesn't really lead. So my answer was kind of.
The worst thing is I was actually pretty excited for Tron Ares. I was actually pretty excited for it. And then as soon as I heard Jared Leto was in it, I was like, I'm no longer seeing this movie now. They're going to do what they do all the time with Tron movies. It has an interesting concept. It's going to go nowhere. They're going to reboot it in like 10 to 20 years.
I think he got a really large head after Dallas Buyers Club though. And he never really...
The thing with Tron movies is it's always like, are we going to make a piece of shit? Yes. Is it going to have a great soundtrack? Also, yes.
Is it going to have great visuals? Probably.
Daft Punk for the other one, and then 9 Inch Nails for Tron Ares. Yep. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross deserve so much better than Tron Ares. Come on. All right. Well, yeah, he's a box office bomb magnet, dude. Even the good stuff he's in, like Blade Runner 2049, bombs at the box office because he's in it.
I didn't even know he's in that.
He's actually, I hate to say it, but he's not bad.
Wait, are you still talking about Jared Leto or someone else?
Yeah, Jared Leto.
Yeah. Well, they don't bomb because of him, do they?
He's the link in all these movies bombing.
I got to see Morbius.
But hey, at least Suicide Squad was an Oscar-winning movie, so there's that. He's got that under his belt.
That is true. The DCEU won an Oscar before the MCU did.
Yeah, the MCU got nominated for Best Picture. Sorry, Jake.
Black Panther
all the movies,
sucks.
It was Black Panther.
Black Panther sucks. I'm sorry. I like Wakanda Forever way more than I like that first Black Panther.
I do too. I agree.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening or watching this episode of us talking about the Avengers. Thank you, Cade, for joining us. We are excited to have you back for the upcoming Avengers movies, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, Endgame, all that good stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that. If you want to see Cade back with us, obviously check out the Avengers episodes when they drop. As for Josh and myself, what's the next one? Is it Iron Man 3?
I think so. Yeah, is it that or Dark World?
No, it's Iron Man 3.
Okay.
Because Dark World's after.
Okay.
Yeah. Yay, Thor: The Dark World.
I'm excited.
You shouldn't be.
Hey, Christopher Eccleston is in it. He's a great actor. I'm sure they'll utilize him very well.
Oh,
All right, guys. Yeah, the fact that they have Skarsgård in these movies and they do nothing with him. Either way, thank you guys again for listening or watching this. You can listen to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You can also watch this on my personal YouTube channel, Former Film Student, where I post other TV and movie related content. Make sure to like and follow us on those other platforms. And if you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, click the like button if you liked the video. If you didn't like it, then just, better to say nothing at all than to say something negative. Just kidding. Obviously, if you guys have any feedback for us on how we can improve these episodes, definitely let us know in the comments down below. Also, make sure to click the little bell notification button so you get notified when new episodes drop, as well as anything else that I end up posting on this channel. But yeah, that's it for me.
And as always, head on over to Instagram and TikTok, where you can follow us at Franchise Deep Dive. Check out our shorts and episodes that we have upcoming. Like, comment, DM us if you want. Maybe give us the criticism there in the DMs instead of the comments, if you guys have any. But
don't be cowards. Put it out in the open.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Comment whatever you want. But yeah. So go over there, give us some support. We always appreciate it. And can't wait to talk about Iron Man 3 next.
Yay! I do like Shane Black. Cade, any plugs that you got?
Honestly, same plugs as you guys, but with Cinemadopes, TikTok, Blue Sky. Like follow us there on YouTube for our own stuff there, and that's all I really got. I think our next episode, by the time this is out, is either a ranking video of all the non-MCU movies up to 2008. So like Howard the Duck to Silver Surfer. Holy shit. But like that. Or I believe it might be Andor. Might be up. Or who knows? Go check it out. I don't know what's up yet.
Andor is so good. It's so good.
Finally.
Eat your words, Jake.
Listen, I never said that I wasn't going to like it. I said that I didn't want to like it because my life was better when I stopped caring about Star Wars. And now I care again. And now I'm pissed that they're doing a Darth Maul show. And I shouldn't care, but now I care. That's it.
The worst part is that Maul show's not bad, actually. It's actually pretty good.
Thing is, last thing. Thing is, we've seen his entire fucking story. We've seen him in The Phantom Menace. He's in the fucking Clone Wars. We see how his story ends in Rebels. How much more of this red and black motherfucker do we need to see? Yeah, I get it. He's got a cool lightsaber. Fuck you, Sam Witwer. This is your fucking fault. Either way, thank you one last time for Cade from Cinemadopes for joining us for this episode to talk about the Avengers 2012. And again, one last time, thank you guys for listening and watching this episode. We appreciate all and any support that you guys give us. And yeah, like Josh said, check us out on our next episode where we talk about Shane Black's Iron Man 3, continuing the story of Tony Stark. All right, guys, that is it for today. Goodbye.
Later.
Yeah.